Let's talk about the Bucs because they made some big splashes too. They did a lot of really cool things that I honestly, you and I talked about it last week or 2 weeks ago, on how it would be almost impossible for them to keep everybody.
What?
They kept everybody.
No!
They kept everybody, dude. They're trying to get Leonard Fournette back. So
Oh my goodness, bro.
they got Shaq Barrett back, which is mind blowing.
Massive.
They extended London Fletcher, excuse me. They franchise tag Chris Godwin. So they kept the big three that we said, they can't keep him. They re-signed Rob Gronkowski to a 1 year, $10 million deal.
Levante David.
Levante David, I'm sorry, not London Fletcher. Thank you for that. I'm gonna
Washington
Omar,
Redskins?
shout out to you. Omar's probably gonna get at me really quick and be like, hey, that ain't right.
Omar. My guy Omar. Salt.
But no, tell me what you think as a Bucs fan. How you feeling?
Well, I think the first thing you need to look at when you look at that entire situation is you have to look at how it happened, right? I think number one, this speaks a lot on Bruce Arians and the fact that he really got those guys to buy in and they like being there, right? Yep. Even though, a lot of those guys got paid good money, you still have to like the place to accept the money to go back, right? So it really showed,
some of them definitely gave up some money.
Definitely. So it really shows that all of those guys, they bought in. They want to be there. They want to run it back and win again. I think the second thing you have to look at is the fact that Tom Brady was able to restructure his contract. And let's slow down for a second. Yes, was it an admirable thing? Of course. Listen, he didn't give away any money. He still got all the money he was going to get paid. He just got it in the signing bonus. So it didn't go against the cap. So he's only hitting him for $6 million compared to $25 million. So let's slow down. And that's my guy. That's my guy right there. But let's slow down. Let's understand the contract situation. But I will say this, though. I think with the way that Buccaneers team was constructed, if Tom Brady hadn't restructured his contract, somebody else would have. That's what I think that team is right now. I think
like a Mike Evans type.
If he didn't do it, Mike Evans would have, or maybe a Rojo, or maybe let's see, was someone in the back end. Somebody would have restructured.
Yeah,
right?
I know what you mean.
And I just think that just goes to show that that's one of the reasons, in my opinion, why I think Tom Brady is one of the best. Because he's just a thinking man. He's a chess player with everybody else is playing checkers. He's always 1 to 3 steps ahead. Always.
It helps when your wife has a higher net worth than you.
Yeah.
And you got that financial pretty locked up, and he's got deals on deals when it comes to brand deals and he has his own business. Like, he's running his own thing, TB12. So, good on him, because he really is it all bought in. Like, hey, let's win. Like, I don't give a crap about this money. This money doesn't mean anything to me. It's because I already got the money. The money's not an issue. So let's win some Super Bowls, shall we? And it looks like they will.
Do you think 8's gonna happen?
It's looking likely, I would say.
I'll say
because
this.
At the end of the day, unless he comes out this year and regresses like crazy, like he can't throw the ball past 20 yards, which we've seen happen to older quarterbacks. Peyton Manning is one of them. And unless he comes out of camp with a noodle arm, or he just can't hit a receiver that's open, which, you never know what happens in an off season.
Right, it's so true.
Or unless he gets hurt, I think that you will see them at least in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. I was thinking the same thing. I think if they don't go back to the Super Bowl, that'd be disappointment. Because everybody said on that team, listen, we were just starting to catch our stride by the NFC Championship game. Mm-hmm. We hadn't played a single game at our standard yet. Mm-hmm. And they won every game from week 12 on. They didn't lose another game from that point on. And they were stomping some teams. And they still said, we have not played our best brand of football yet. And bringing literally every single piece back, I hope they get Antonio Brown back. That would be massive. I hope they get Leonard Fournette back. That would be massive. If they get those two pieces, they repeat.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to compete, right? Because I mean, unless you could say hypotheticals all day, like what if Patrick Mahomes had his left tackle and his right tackle back? All right, well, now this year coming up, they got a really good. They signed a really good left tackle. I can't remember what his name is.
Joe Tooney.
Yes.
From the Patriots.
Oh, thank you, Patriots.
Yep.
And they also picked up Kyle Long.
Yep, from the Bears.
At retirement, and he's a Hall of Fame kind of guy. So, if those guys pan out and Kansas City ends up making a run again, which they very well could, when they had a healthy O-line, they were obviously the best team in football.
Oh, yeah.
Not arguable at all. So anything can happen in an NFL season. It's a little bit of a longer year, so you're going to see teams manage their rosters a little differently, I think. I think you're going to see games where a quarterback might sit out a game just because it's a game that doesn't mean much. It might be a game against an opponent that's, later in the year. It's looking like you're going to make a good – because it's like 17 games is a lot of football. So it's getting to the point where it's like, do you start going the NBA model where you sit guys every once in a while?
Right.
Like, what do you do at that point? So, but suffice to say, it's a long season. So could the Bucs repeat? Absolutely. If they have the type of injury luck that they had last year where pretty much the injury bug didn't touch pretty much anybody other than Godwin and Mike Evans.
And
they kind of switched off on and OJ a little bit too. OJ Howard.
Yeah.
Which
Ronald
I mean,
Jones.
having him back next year is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, and don't forget about him either. OJ Howard coming back. My God.
Help they have the NFC South on lockdown, by the way, since Drew Brees retired.
Oh yeah.
So that's a guarantee, and that's what I mean. Like they might sit Tom Brady for a game or two because that division's going to be out of reach by a long shot. And unless they're in number 1 seed territory, which again they very well could be, I can see them saying like, we'll take out our divisional title, and get Tom Brady his rest, and unless he doesn't want rest. I mean, Tom Brady's a gamer, so
right.